Good morning, everyone, on what looks to be another beautiful summer day the Lord has given us. I hope you're ready for a fantastic week, and I hope, most of all, that you're living your very best life in Jesus Christ. You know, I've mentioned on many occasions in conversations and devotionals and sermons that one of the things I so much wish I could change, at least physically, is my ongoing issues with my eyesight. They've been consistent my whole life, and it is indeed a burden at times. Though I've come to accept it and learned to simply be thankful to be able to see as well as I do, or sometimes at all. But however, as much as this is a problem in my life, I think that one of the truly great problems and difficulties in my life, especially mentally and spiritually, come not from issues with my eyes, but with issues with my eyes. In other words, I find that my biggest problems in life is one that, the biggest problem anyway, is the one that's common to all men. We all want things our way and are pretty selfish creatures without the infilling of the Holy Spirit. Wanting our own way is woven into the very fabric of fallen man. Since the fall has been our default orientation, if you will, we can see this even from our earliest days, whenever our way is crossed or we're, God forbid, told no. We insist on our way in the cradle, and then as toddlers, we insist on our way in the playground, and then as overconfident teens. We insist on our way in the church, in the workplace. Then later we insist on our way as parents of toddlers, and then as stubborn parents of overconfident teens, we insist on our way as retirees. And then as nursing home residents. Let's face it, humanity is, by our very nature, we're disturbingly and persistently selfish. There's a Christian writer I really like named John Bloom who puts it this way. He says, "Our selfishness is a master of disguise, wearing 1,000 masks to cover its motives. Our selfishness is a wordsmith, bending, shaping, and sometimes twisting rationales for why our preferences are reasonable and right, and even righteous, and, of course, best. Our selfishness is an attorney trained from childhood in both defense and prosecution, bent on persuading judge and jury on behalf of our sole client, us." Insisting on our own way is at the heart of most of our conflicts. I know it is mine, and at the bottom of almost all the ways humans abuse each other. This is the evidence of a lack of love, and it's a source of much human heartache and suffering, not just historically, but every day. So why do we find it so difficult to stop insisting on our way? Well, the Bible tells us it's simply a matter of wanting to be in control of everything. As Christians, let's face it, we're called to live better than that. We're called to crucify that selfishness along with all the rest of our sin. It calls us to put on the mind of Christ. See, this is why the Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians 2, 3 through 8, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility. Value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interests of the others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Jesus Christ, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant. Being made in human likeness and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, and even death on the cross." See, it's only in this way that we can truly begin to love others as ourselves, by crucifying our sin through Christ. Look, today's the beginning of a new week, and I always urge you, I give you an encouragement for the beginning of the week. Well, today I encourage you to examine your heart for signs you might be harboring a little bit, teeny bit, of a selfish attitude. In other words, this is going to sound silly, but ask the Lord to do an eye exam today for any eye problems you might have. Ask him to point out the way to seeing yourself and others clearly. Then ask Him to give you His vision for your life today and every day. I mean, after all, I keep telling you, I'd love to have perfect vision, and I may never have perfect vision physically, but with the Lord's help, I hope to eventually have perfect vision spiritually. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I want you to know that I'm here should you need me, and I love you all.